Hey everyone, thank you for joining today. Sue, our moderator's cat just unplugged her laptop, so she'll be joining us in just a minute, but I wanted to shut off the music on hold music for you. So drop me a chat if you can hear me all right. All right. Thank you, Darren and David. Awesome. Cool. All right. Should just be a second for Sue to get back on. All right. Hi, Darren. Yes, the webinar is going to be recorded so that you can share it. It's going to be jam-packed, so you might need the recording later. I'll try to go as slowly as I can so that if anybody's taking notes that they can do that. I am pretty excited, so I may talk fast, but I'm going to try really hard not to. But yes, the webinar is going to be recorded, and you'll get that sent to you either tonight or early tomorrow, but it should be tonight. The other thing is, Sue will probably mention this, but if you do have a question, drop it in the chat, and Sue will be addressing those or asking those at the end of this portion. That way I can give you some answers. So go ahead and put them in the chat as we go, and they will get addressed during the Q&A portion. All right, I don't know when Sue's joining us. Let's see. All right, why don't we just get started as it's already 10 after, and Sue can jump in whenever she gets on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And hopefully, I'll get this right. All right. So today's webinar is about your inbound marketing strategy and how you can create it for yourself. So technically, Sue would be doing the introduction right now and covering some housekeeping rules. I already covered one of them. Basically, put your questions in the chat and we'll address them at the end of this webinar. There'll be about 15 minutes for Q&A. Let's see if Sue has joined yet. I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I'm just gonna, we'll just jump into it. So there's Sue, our host, who will be joining us eventually. And my name is Stephanie Benzik. I'm the Director of Marketing at Greenstar Marketing. Many of you may know me from NetSapiens, actually, where I work closely with the NetSapiens marketing team assisting in many of their marketing initiatives. I've been in the design and marketing world for close to 10 years now, and I also have an extensive background with telecommunications. So I've made a career out of combining my knowledge of both those worlds. That's me, this is me, all good. So first things first, I'd like to discuss the differences in outbound versus inbound marketing and why inbound is a better choice versus traditional styles. So with outbound marketing, this is what you picture when you think of more traditional marketing approaches. This includes things like magazine ads, pamphlets, billboards, commercials, stuff like that. With outbound marketing, the advertisers have all of the control, so you have all the control, and consumers get these things pushed at them whether they're interested or not. On the contrary, with inbound marketing, the buyer is in control. They get to do their own research and have access to all the tools that they need to make their own decisions. Nowadays, it's easier than ever to just whip out your phone or open your laptop and you have instant access to unlimited information. Now with outbound marketing, consumers can tune you out when they don't want to listen to you. To be honest, the outbound method of marketing isn't really working anymore in today's technology-forward world, where 56% of people are skipping commercials, and as more people switch to streaming television, less ads are being seen at all. And 91% of people unsubscribe from unsolicited emails, so buying lists are just going to land you in the trash folder or worse, spam. Plus, those methods are just going to leave a bad impression of your business with those customers. And even direct mailers have seen a decline in effectiveness, with 20% of them never even getting opened. Oh, sounds like Sue joined us. Hi, Sue.
Hello, sorry about that, folks.
That's okay. Cats be cats. Additionally, calling campaigns are even marked for extinction with over 5 million people on do not call lists. And that's not even counting the people that screen their own calls for unknown numbers. So outbound marketing is all about interrupting consumers and hoping they're listening, where inbound is all about reaching customers at the exact moment they're ready to learn more. So if you're not interrupting them, how do you attract attention? You need to create something people love and value. You've probably heard the saying, content is king, and the saying hasn't changed. People really love content, especially as we move forward into a more digital and mobile world. And the great news for you is there are lots of different types of content out there that you can create for your audiences. For example, blogs. The great thing about blogs and inbound is that you can basically set it and forget it. It will still be there, driving customers to your pages whenever they search for something relatable to that topic. It can still be a tool years down the road. And along that same line as blogs are ebooks, downloadable pamphlets and brochures, and reports. Pretty much anything that you think your customers will find value in. So let me jump into an example here. Say you offer cloud services. That's a pretty big term that covers a lot of different things. Your prospective clients may not know specifically what it is they're looking for. And a rising trend with the evolution in technology is that people want to do their own research before they ever even reach out to talk to another person. So, if you offer cloud services, why not create a downloadable of some type listing what cloud services you offer and expand on what those services mean? You've now created something tangible so that when client Chris here searches cloud services, he's led to you, and you've just given him a helpful tool. So how do you think that makes you look to client Chris? Do you think he's going to go with you, the company that's setting him up to be successful with the tools he needs, or the company that's throwing their sales pitch in his face? When it comes to content creation, don't shy away from creating a variety of different types as well. Along with what I previously mentioned, using images and infographics or even videos and podcasts can be beneficial. Creating something visual can put you at an advantage over your competitors if it captures your audience's attention. Plus, not all people like to consume their information the same way. Maybe your clients would enjoy listening to a podcast on his way into the office, or watching a video while getting his morning cardio in. Anything extra you can do to help them will give you an edge and make your company more inbound. It all comes down to content being king. The more content you create that people love, the more that content generates what you love, which should be traffic, leads, and customers. Along with creating a variety of content, you also have to make sure the content you are creating is specific to where your potential clients are in their buyer's journey. There's 3 different stages to a buyer's journey: awareness, consideration, and the decision stage. In the first stage, the awareness stage, your potential customers are only just becoming aware that they have a problem. They may not even know what the solution is. This is where they start researching to see how to solve that problem. Let's catch up with client Chris again. Like the thousands of other businesses affected when the pandemic hit, he had to find a way to keep his employees safe in their homes and also keep his business afloat. He knew he needed to have a way for his team to access all of the company information while working remotely. So what do you think client Chris did? He hit up Google and simply searched how to set up my business to support remote work. And look what that brought him to. If you can't see it because your screen is small, the very first organic listing is a blog post. So now he has access to all the information he needs to find out what his best solution is. The second stage is the consideration stage. In this stage, he knows what his problem is, and he knows what solutions are available to him. So Chris is now considering all of his options and narrowing in on what is best for his company specifically. Chris is now aware that to help set up his team for remote work, he needs to switch to cloud services so that everyone can have access to all the information that they need while still keeping his company secure. And he probably needs to set up a unified communications and collaboration solution to keep his team connected. From a marketing aspect, this would be the perfect time to lead him to a white paper or case study from your business that states what solutions you carry and how they can benefit his business. Remember, the focus has to be on how you're helping him, not how great your company is. It's got to be the focus is on them. And finally, client Chris moves into the decision stage of the buyer's journey. Here, Chris knows what he needs to solve his problem and what it is he is specifically looking for, and he's ready to decide who he wants to go to for his solution. So at this point in time, you've already helped client Chris do his own research on multiple layers of the buyer's journey. And you already have an established relationship with him all before he's even reached out to you. More often than not, he's going to go with the company that's been helpful and empowering versus the one just trying to tell him what he needs. And that's what inbound is all about, bringing customers to you and earning their trust before even talking with them. All right, so now that I've broken down the buyer's journey from the customer's perspective, I'd like to show you what that looks like from your point of view. So using the funnel visual on the right, it's all going to be on how to attract visitors. Here, all of your marketing goals and activities are going to be aimed at increasing brand awareness and website traffic to attract those buyers in the awareness stage. And again, I can't stress this enough, content is king. If you have nothing of value to share with your audience, then they have no reason to seek out a relationship with you. So start with content. This can be a blog and web pages, infographics, videos, podcasts, presentations, anything that gives value. You're probably wondering what to start with though. So to know what you need to create, you need to ask yourself, who am I creating this for? Who am I trying to attract? This is where outlining your buyer persona comes in. A buyer persona describes who your ideal customers are, what their days are like, the challenges they face, and how they make decisions. Creating a buyer persona helps you visualize a clear idea of who you are targeting so that you can create the right content for them. Try to create content that mentions their goals and discusses their challenges and then offers solutions. I know creating a buyer persona may seem a little silly, but it really does help you get the right content to the right place at the right time. So let's pretend you have your buyer persona figured out. How do you decide what content to create? You have to ask yourself, what is my buyer persona searching for? And I have great news for you. You can use Google to find out what is actually being searched for in your field. For example, start by searching a high-level topic you want your business to be known for. We're going to use fiber internet as an example. Now, take a look at the autocomplete options and people also ask section. Here's where you will get some basic ideas on what content to possibly create. If you can't see these, I'm going to read a few, so let me zoom in a little. I'm based in Chicago, so Fiber Internet Chicago came up. Fiber internet versus cable, fiber internet near me, fiber internet speed. People also ask, is fiber internet better? Or what is fiber internet? So keep in mind, in combination with these blogs that'll be answering these questions and these topics, you need to also employ on-page SEO techniques and make sure your technical SEO is correct. If you don't know, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And it's the best way to get Google ranking your content higher and higher. Okay, so now we know who we're creating content for, and you have a basic idea of what topics you want to use. How do you make that content compelling? Your content needs to offer a few different things to help you become inbound and drive sales to you. It needs value, relevance, timeliness, and uniqueness. And remember, there are different types of content that are relevant to different parts of the buyer's journey. For example, in the awareness stage, you want lighter pieces of content like ebooks, blog posts, and videos. These are easy to consume. However, as you move into the consideration stage, you will want to start focusing more specifically on the potential client's needs. So now is a great time to use webinars, case studies, and white papers, anything that can expand on their needs. And in the decision stage, the client knows exactly what they want. So now is the time to offer free consultations, trials, and demos, anything to make going with you the simple decision. It also really helps to make that content easy to share. The simpler it is to share, the more likely it is to get passed on and start reaching further organically. So it starts doing the work for you all on its own. All right, so I have a few helpful tips to consider when it comes to creating content. For one, your content should be a minimum of 300 words. Anything shorter, and it's not going to be all that SEO friendly. And people also love stats and quotes. They're nice because it's a quick tidbit to remember, and it feels like something worth sharing. All right, once you've created this content and you know it's ready to be put out there and it brings something of value to your audience, you may be asking yourself, how do I distribute that content to attract those website visitors? So in addition to posting it on your own website and optimizing it for search engines, social media is a great tool you can use to distribute it. Studies show that the average person spends 3 hours per day on one or more social media platforms, especially during a lockdown. I know mine was up pretty high. An extremely important factor to consider when utilizing social media platforms is that visuals matter. So when you share, you want to make sure you are using great visuals or videos, or your content is less likely to get attention. I also recommend using high-value stats and facts from your content to help grab your audience's attention. From the slide earlier, if you had a chance to read it, Twitter itself did this study that showed tweets with stats and facts were 19% shared more 19% than other ones. I don't know. You know what I'm getting at. And again, share a variety of content, not all the same type. Also, as hard as it is, you can't just sell to people. You have to provide value. The rule of thumb is 80% educational, 20% sales. With social media, there are different tools available to help you reach more people. You can target your posts or even pay to boost your posts to more people if you believe that post could be super helpful in growing your business. When using social media, though, don't be afraid to try other platforms that might be a good fit for you. There's a lot of options out there, and it's not just limited to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. What may work for one business may not work for yours, so it's all about testing the waters and seeing what works best for your business. So with inbound marketing, you also have to give it time. People need to see or hear things 3 to 5 times for their behavior to change. So be consistent. Your hard work will continue to pay off for years to come. You just have to be patient at the beginning. Okay, so now that we've captured their attention, they've gone from strangers and are now visiting your site. How do you turn those site visits into leads, or what is known as a conversion? Because if you have traffic to your site but no conversions, then you have no new business. I have to take a drink. Hang on, my throat's super dry. All right. One of the ways to start converting visitors is to establish a relationship and open communication by turning them into a subscriber. When they become a subscriber, they've given you just the bare minimum of information about them, but it's a step in the right direction. When they subscribe, they are interested in your content and want to receive new content or related content as it becomes available. As they move into the consideration stage, they become a lead. In this stage, you get even more information from them. So now you might also know their company name, job title, employee count, stuff like that. You would get this information by them going a step beyond subscribing to your blogs. And maybe now they've downloaded or used a more specific piece of information or tool that you offer. You get more information by providing more value. And then from there, you want to convert them to what's called a marketing qualified lead, or MQL. This means they are a potential customer, and they have signaled in some way that they want to learn more about your business or product. This can be from either downloading a white paper or case study, or attending a webinar. While this might not directly mean they are ready to purchase, it does mean they are considering you as a solution to their problem. I'm going to dive a little deeper to understand the process better. So let's go back to the subscriber part. How do you start generating subscribers? This can be as easy as sharing your blog posts on social media and optimizing your content to lead people to your blog posts organically. Once they are there, you need to have an obvious call to action, or CTA, so people that find your blog post relevant can simply click that subscribe button, fill out their info, and continue to receive helpful content from you. Okay, so now we've got subscribers. How do you turn them into leads? Again, this is where well-placed relevant CTAs, or call to actions, come in. So let's say you have a blog post on how cloud services help businesses. Simply add a CTA to the bottom of the post that leads them to a flyer listing the cloud services you offer. To download it, all they need is to fill out a small questionnaire. You get more information because that flyer is more valuable. You can then use the answers in that questionnaire to see if the people downloading the flyer are even quality conversions. Are they high enough in their company to make decisions? Do you offer packages that cover their company size? If they seem like they meet all of your qualifications from the forms, now you want to turn those leads into MQLs. Okay, so to do that, to turn them into MQLs, you need to nurture them. That's where email marketing and sometimes paid retargeting comes in. With email marketing, you deepen the relationship by continuing to supply them with relevant content. And relevant is the key word there. Nothing will drive away a potential customer faster than being bombarded with information from you that they don't want or need. When composing these emails, be sure to have a compelling subject line. Don't be afraid to test out different options too. There's tools out there for that. In addition, make sure to have a sender name and have it be an actual person. Personalize the copy so it feels like a real person sent it. But you want to build this relationship, not give it the cold shoulder. Another tip is include an image or two, but don't go overboard. You want to keep it appealing, and you must have a call to action or CTA, or what was it all even for? And as required with all marketing emails, don't forget the unsubscribe button. I did mention paid retargeting ads. You do have that option to stay relevant to your leads. These paid retargeting ads, basically follow them around the internet wherever they go. Obviously, this is an additional cost, but it's a great way to keep you in front of their eyes. Okay, I know I've covered a lot today, and there's a lot more layers we could still unpack here, but I'm getting close to the end of my slides, so I wanted to give you one last tip before we finish up. The truth is, many small to medium businesses don't have the resources in-house to do all of this. Many turn to outsourcing or partner with a marketing agency. When you're looking to partner with a marketing agency, you should first have an idea of how much you can invest in marketing to make the investment worth the outcome. Partnering with a marketing agency is a great way to work towards your marketing goals at an often much lower expense than hiring someone in-house. You should figure out your budget and goals ahead of time, though. To easily do this, you can track your sales cycles, your conversion rates, and how much you want to spend per lead. This will give you an idea of how much you can spend on marketing services while still remaining profitable. Okay, this is a nice quote that I added earlier, but it's good. So I'm going to read it to you. Because the purpose of business is to create a customer, the business enterprise has two, and only two, basic functions: marketing and innovation. Marketing and innovation produce results. All the rest are costs. Marketing is the distinguishing, unique function of the business. This quote was from Peter Drucker, who is considered the father of marketing, but I don't think he considered himself that from what I was reading about him. Okay, back to the point. Now your website visitors are leads, and through meaningful nurturing, they've become MQLs. Awesome. But how do you close those MQLs and turn them into your customers? At this point, they are likely in the decision stage of their buyer's journey, and you should offer them a free trial or demo. If they say yes, you've successfully done all you can, and it's time to hand those precious leads over to your sales team. A little quick note here, sales and marketing should be well aligned and not afraid to collaborate. If these teams aren't working together, then the lack of communication will be felt by the potential customer, and it won't be beneficial to anyone. So be sure to schedule meetings and have conversations regularly between the two teams to nurture a good relationship, which will ultimately build good customer relationships. So when it comes to being inbound, it is essentially all about just being human and helpful. Do what you can to attract customers to you by creating value through quality content and utilizing the buyer's journey to figure out what type of content is perfect for your buyer personas. Remember that this all takes time and it's not a quick fix or a get-rich-quick tactic. You have to put time and heart into what you're producing, and in the end, you'll have a winning inbound marketing strategy that educates and equips your potential customers and turns your website into a lead-generating machine. And with that, I must have talked fast because it says 27 minutes. Oops. Anyway, I do want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I did. And mostly, I hope you found this to be helpful and relevant to you and your business needs. If anyone has any questions, I can start taking those now. Let me end the slideshow. Stop sharing. Okay.
Okay, so it looks like we do have a couple of questions here. Regarding the unsubscribe button, is it legally mandatory with inbound marketing or more of a tool to get rid of invalid leads? What's your take on that?
It is legally mandatory. If you don't have it, you're going to be probably placed immediately in their spam folder anyway. The other thing is it's best practice. It's a good faith act. Like, hey, you know what? Here's what I'm offering, but if you don't want it, feel free to unsubscribe. You know, it's going to be a better relationship off the start.
And what kind of success have you had on creating YouTube learning? Because I know YouTube is huge.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
YouTube learning, specifically like creating classes or what?
How-tos.
How-tos. Oh, okay. They can go, I guess it depends on the topic. They're great because it's a video that you can share easily. What I like to do with those personally is share a small clip of it on social media, lead them back to your website where they can view the whole thing and maybe find something else useful, and then try to convert them into a lead that way.
Okay, and that's part of that question, yeah, sharing knowledge.
Yeah, obviously that's a big boom right now. I feel like every day I'm on LinkedIn seeing somebody sharing their knowledge, but people really like it. I do the same thing with my personal hobbies. I'm watching people sharing their knowledge all the time. I think it's a great idea, and if you have knowledge to share, do it, because you're going to become, hopefully a thought leader in your industry that way.
Okay. And with regard to privacy laws, each state has their own privacy laws. So, California's, I know, are pretty stringent. So, it's best to pick one like California because it is so strict. Mm-hmm. And what is your thought on showing pricing on your website?
I personally like it. As a consumer, I want to go see the pricing before I talk to someone. Now, I am a millennial, so maybe that's just us. But if it's not working for you, it's going to have to be something that you kind of test out. Personally, as a millennial consumer, I want to see pricing before I talk to someone. Depending on your audience, they may not want to see pricing. They may want to see, directly what the sales guys offer. But you got to test it out, unfortunately. Sorry for that answer.
Well, and I can expand on that as a non-millennial. that I actually prefer to see pricing as well. It obviously depends upon, it depends upon what it is that you're looking for, but I always like to know what I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to get
Yeah.
psyched about something and then get a really bad surprise at the end.
Exactly.
So,
Or worse, you're wasting your sales guy's time on, someone who really can't afford you.
sure, sure. Um,
Okay, I see that.
okay.
Yeah, if you're a national provider, I could see that definitely. I see that perspective. As a local one, going after smaller businesses or something like that, or residential, I think it is important to have the pricing, as Sue and I both said. As a national provider or a big ticket item provider, you may want to get those people in the hands of sales too. That's a good point, Ken.
And what's your favorite way to learn more about your audience and build your buyer personas?
That's a great question. I am a behind the scenes person. I like to do that. So my biggest tool is Google for that, like I showed you. So building the buyer personas. I do like to draw somebody, and then I list out, what they need, who they are. A lot of times you can go back to your existing customers and kind of base your buyer personas off of them. So that's an easy way to do it too.
And what is your thought on website heat maps? Did they do any good?
They're cool. If you're launching something new, like a new web page, and you want to see how well it performs, I like to use them for that. So you can easily see, if your CTA is in the wrong spot. You'll be able to see whether they even scroll down, the bulk of your visitors scroll down to the CTA. And if they don't, probably should move the CTA up higher. Long term, it's a really cool technology, but for me, I personally only use them at the beginning stages to see what works first and then replicate that. You want to rinse and repeat what works for your business.
Sure, that makes sense. A couple of other questions just as you were going through the presentation. With regard to Greenstar specifically, do you supply statistics and quotes for campaigns and imagery?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing about Greenstar is we really come in as more of a partner because we know a lot of times the marketing for smaller businesses is done, by someone who has another very important role. So they may not have time to get that stuff. So that's where we come in and do all the legwork for you and get that for you and do very diligent research to make sure what we're giving you is accurate, trustworthy, high domain authority scores that we're linking from, all that stuff. So
okay.
Yes.
In addition, do you provide content for UC providers for blog posts?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Does Greenstar provide content for UC providers for blog posts?
Yes. So we are a content marketing and SEO focused marketing agency. So this is my whole big proponent, inbound marketing. So yes, the content is what brings it in for the inbound. So yes.
And again, what makes Greenstar stand out?
That's a good one. So we have a very unique relationship in this stance right now where our team all kind of has this telecom background. I started out, as I was going to school for design and marketing, I started out line number porting at an ITSP. So that's my background with that, and our other teammates, have that background as well. So we really know the industry. So when we're writing about it, we know what we're writing about, and we often know, what your audience is going to be from the start because we understand this industry. Going a step further, we also have, this unique relationship with NetSapiens where we're a big marketing partner with them. We have access to a switch where we often rebrand custom, remake custom training videos within your portals. Like, we know the system inside and out. We know pretty much everyone at NetSapiens, and they're all awesome. So that's one of our biggest standouts is, we're in the telecom industry. We know this is something that telecom providers need, whether it's high priority or not. There's not a lot of attention out there for marketing for telecom specifically.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this was addressed at the beginning of the webinar as my cat decided to unplug my laptop. Working with Greenstar, that you've been able to increase our NetSapiens organic website traffic by over 25%. Anything else you could expand on about how Greenstar has increased leads for NetSapiens and how you've improved the quality of those leads?
Oh, absolutely. So with that organic traffic increase you mentioned, I'd like to really point out that organic traffic is free traffic. That's not paid traffic. And if you can increase organic, that's the best way to go. It's free traffic. Not only that, but if you do it right, you're capturing the right audience and increasing the quality of conversions. So with that, 25% increase in organic traffic came, I think, I didn't check the numbers recently, but I want to say the last time I checked, the MQL to SQL ratio jumped up over 50% since we've been doing this inbound method with NetSapiens. So it's really made a huge impact on the quality of leads coming in and the sales readiness of those leads, because we've given them all these helpful tools ahead of time before they even, fill out that contact form or reach out to us, or before we reach out to them, NetSapiens.
Yeah, that's great to get some real world input on the Greenstar NetSapiens relationship. One other question: is there going to be a promo for anyone who would join this webinar today?
Yes, absolutely. And if you are interested, I took my thing down. You can visit. I'll type in the comments here. Oh, yay! Thank you, David. It's good to see you on here. So you can visit this website here, which is our website, or you can reach out to me. Put this in here too. Let me make sure I spell it right. Oops, see, I didn't. Marketing. This looks so weird there. Okay, or you can reach out to me personally. That is my email address. Some of you may have even seen, I do have a NetSapiens email address too, which is where you've probably seen me from time to time, but please reach out to the G-Star Marketing one. And yes, absolutely.
Sounds good. Any other questions out there? Thank you, David. Thanks.
All right, and you guys look at my slides. You're going to get the recording. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out. Our big thing is advice and helping where we can. You don't have to sign up with us to get some tips. So we're happy to help.
Well, sounds good. I think on that note, thank you everyone for joining. I'm glad this is informative for you. And next week, be sure to sign up for our webinar with BrightLink. That'll be next Tuesday on the 21st, again at 11 a.m. Pacific time. On that, I think we'll say goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, all. Thank you.
Have a great one.